You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
Is this New Year's Eve?
It is.
Like New Year's Eve.
It is. It's New Year's Eve morning, so we got a few hours before New Year's Eve.
Morning, the 365th day of the year.
Right.
Yeah, it's the last day of 2019.
Right.
Huh.
I'm not going to miss this year at all. Goodbye, 2019.
Yeah.
Just kind of weird. Momentous day, historically speaking.
Oh, what's going on?
As we look around this beautifully appointed Sunny 93.3 studio.
Yeah.
Yes.
With all the little screens lit up and the lighting and everything's just
Power.
so great. It was this day, 1879. You know him, you love him. Give it up for Thomas Edison.
Yay, Thomas Edison.
Demonstrated his incandescent light bulbs in Menlo Park, New Jersey for the first time, by lighting up an entire street. There were about 3,000 spectators there.
I thought maybe they would drop the ball in Times Square, and it was... No, that's not what he did.
You know, I think the first year they did that was 1904, as a matter of fact, in New York.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how do I know these things?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm an educated man.
He makes them up as he goes along.
I'm almost 80 years old and I'm still paying off student debt. That's why I occupy Wall Street. Is that still a thing? Nah, there's something else.
I
now.
don't think so.
I think that's all finished.
What's interesting is he was not the first inventor of the light bulb. There were other people who had done this, but he did the first that would burn steadily for hours and hours.
That's super cool.
So there you go.
It
Yeah.
was the first practical light bulb, that you could actually use.
Without light bulbs, there never would have been Polish jokes. All righty.
Or blonde jokes.
Leave it at that. Leave it at that.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate that. It is Christmas, not Christmas Eve. What's this other one called?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's
Eve.
Wow.
It is. I haven't even started drinking yet. It is the New Year's Eve edition of the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be expensive. One survey found 44% of shoppers racked up more than $1,000 in holiday debt last year, and 5% accumulated more than $5,000 in debt. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at BetterCreditCards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at BetterCreditCards.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks, run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger
Good
Dan.
morning, Ranger Dan.
Well, good morning, Heidi. John.
Hey.
Today is New Year's Eve. We're turning an old brand new year. Very exciting things coming up in 2020. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but when I know, I'll certainly let you know. Hey, the mail sure piled up the last couple months or so, and I took a little time last night to go through the old Ranger Dan fan mail bag, and
Nice.
it was a little bit concerning because I tripped over this a couple days back, maybe a week or so ago, that one of Ranger Dan's fans had written in, and it wasn't really a complaint letter, but he was a little concerned that after buying several items in the Ranger Dan Enterprises merchandise family, that couldn't seem to find any kind of return policy on anything.
Right.
And so going through the old mailbag, there were several other kind of inquiries about, hey,
Right.
I return something, I don't like it, not including some kind of an official kind of document from some organization called the Consumer Protection Agency and the Federal Trade Commission. All look like a bunch of legal mumbo-jumbo to me, so I went right in the old wood burner.
Yeah.
But when it comes to returns, it reminds me of of a very, very, very interesting one of God's little creatures, and we are here for critter knowledge, and I'm sure salmon is a very, very popular thing to eat here in the United States and the world over, and salmon, they kind of run free. And let's just take the king salmon, for instance, because that's the big boy right there. You know, every year the king salmon returns to its spawning grounds.
Really?
The return is key. It will literally go hundreds of miles, battling upstream and over rocks and through all the underlying currents and jumping and jumping and jumping in through cascading waterfalls to get to the spawning grounds that it was originally spawned in itself.
Really?
After all of that work, all of that exhausting nature just to get to and return to where it came from, it will in fact fertilize the eggs, and that one moment of bliss will cost that salmon its life. It will die a slow, painful, horrifying death.
Wow, that doesn't sound like fun. It's kind of a downer, Ranger Dan.
That is a downer.
That's why Ranger Dan doesn't do returns. I'm just looking out for you. Well, that's it for Ranger Dan today. You know the drill, little radio rangers. Stay in school, go to church, say your prayers, eat your vegetables, don't be playing soccer, and don't let me let you wearing Crocs. Is Ranger Dan up? Yes, sir.
Again, Ranger Dan's Critter Corner exclusively on Sunny 93.3.
This time of year, we have many events that involve alcohol. If you struggle to drink without drinking too much, there is help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris back in the studio, looking very studious over there. You got something on your mind. What are we talking about?
Well, I know it's New Year's Eve. I personally have not been out in quite a while.
Oh, okay.
New Year's Eve, the celebration thing. But probably the biggest, man, the El Riot Shrine does a heck of a job.
That's what we're going to be doing tonight.
The last time I did do the old ringing in the New Year, it was at the El Riot Shrine.
We've done that the last couple of years. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, and
Time Machine will be there tonight.
Great band. Yeah, and a whole lot of fun. They do a bang up
darn good job
down there. And what do just everybody across America and other countries, they make New Year's resolutions, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you guys do that?
Oh yeah.
Do you? You thought it through? You got any in mind? You're keeping them to yourself?
No,
ours is going to do better on our diets than we have recently.
Is to do what Amanda has been telling me to do.
Exactly. Do what we're told.
That is the number one most popular New Year's resolution in the country, to lose weight.
I'll bet another one on the list is to quit smoking and to quit drinking.
Number two, actually, and I do have a legitimate top 10 list here.
Yeah.
Number two, improve your finances.
Oh, wow.
Number three is exercise. Oh. Number four is get a new job.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and hey, if you're looking, get a hold of Maverick Recruiting.
Yeah,
and
MaverickRecruiting.com.
He'll fix your wagon.
Boom.
Number five is eat healthier.
Okay.
Number six, manage stress better. Mm-hmm. 7, and you mentioned that one, John, stop smoking.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
That used to be a bigger one, but there's a lot of people that did stop smoking.
And last year, because I still have kind of a little rebel yell nature in me, I started smoking last year.
That was your resolution?
Because I thought, everybody's quitting big tobacco. They need to pay their bills, too, so I'll pick up the slack here. Because I'm a giver.
You're a giver. You really are.
That's nice of you, Dan.
At number 8, improve a relationship.
Okay. We should do that one. Let's improve our relationship, Heidi.
I'm good with improving relationships.
Okay.
Number 9, stop procrastinating.
That's why they got all the way down to number 9 on that one.
Yes. They kind of waited to launch that one. And at number 10, in the top 10 of resolutions for the United States, America, set aside time for yourself.
So quit drinking is not even on the list?
That is not on there.
No,
it's not.
It's because, well, if you make your resolution tomorrow morning, then that'll be on the list. Like, I got to quit.
A lot of people will swear to the Almighty Lord to tomorrow morning that they're never going to do that again.
I will never do that again.
Where were we on New Year's Eve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
There'll be apologies going on everywhere.
Yeah, probably.
Till the next time, so.
Very, very nice. I appreciate the water cooler talk. That's the last water cooler talk of the year, by the way.
It is.
Isn't that weird?
It's, 2019.
Went quick, man.
Sure seemed to.
Yeah. Coming up in a minute, maybe a little more than a minute. Coming up a few minutes, I can't talk. I've got a comedian for a comedy call. One of the comedians from the Snow Jam Comedy Festival. It's happening next month, end of January. All the details coming up. We'll chat with Lori in just a bit.
We all know someone that's a little weird. They're great, but they have a weird sense of humor. If you need to get them a gift for the holidays, be sure to check out weirdgiftoftheday.com. Each morning, we post a different weird item that will make you smile. There's no fee to join and no obligation to buy anything. Just follow our page on Facebook and get a smile each morning. weirdgiftoftheday.com. Weird gift ideas for your weird friends. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit right now with Dan Bublitzjr. He is one of the people that's actually putting together Snow Jam Comedy Festival. This was kind of your idea, wasn't it, Dan?
Well, I'm one of the co-founders, yeah. It was me and Timmy Williams and Nathan Holtz originally that came up with this idea.
Now, when did this start? Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? I know it's been a couple of years now.
This is going to be our fourth year. Our
Holy
first
cow.
year was, I believe, 2016. Yep.
And it's a fundraiser for Special Olympics of South Dakota. So this is one of those things where you can go out and have a whole lot of fun. And in addition to that, you can do something good for an awesome organization. Let's talk about some of the comedians that are going to be performing at this year's event. I know you're going to be there, but who else are some of the people that will be performing at Snow Jam Comedy Festival 2020?
We've got comics from across the country that are going to be coming in. A couple of the... Like our main headliner this year, we're very excited about. His name is Sean Jordan. He's actually somebody that grew up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He's originally from Sioux Falls. Now he lives in L.A. He's going to be our main headliner. We're doing a couple different things different this year. We're doing some different themed shows and things like that. And we have Michael Malone is another headlining comic that's coming in, and he's doing his one-person show called Laugh After Death. And then we just got a bunch of other comics from all over the country, so we're very excited.
Now, you have been performing comedy for quite some time. When did you get started as a comedian, Dan?
I started in 2010, so I'm going on almost 10 years.
And what was it that made you decide, I'm going to get on stage and talk to all these strangers about some really personal things? How in the world do you make that decision?
Well, in my case, I got divorced, and I was like, well, it's now or never.
Yeah. And you had a chance, you were living in San Diego and worked with the San Diego Festival as well, is that right?
I did, yep. When I lived out there, I started comedy in like 2010, and then 2011 I moved out to San Diego. And then a couple years after I was out there, I helped get that festival going, and I did that for 5 years, and then I moved back and I helped start this festival, and then I helped start the Paul Bunyan Comedy Festival over in Michigan too. So
that's really cool. And the thing that's neat about a comedy festival, if you've never had a chance to go to a show like this, it's completely different than just going to a comedy show. Those are great. Comedy shows are awesome. But when you have comedians from all over the world and all over the country coming together in one place, some really crazy, amazing, fun things can happen, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. And it's great because you're getting a wide variety of comics. There's a lot of diversity in the talent, so you're not just getting the same show. And, every show that we're doing is kind of a showcase, so every comic does like 7 to 10 minutes. And every show will have, anywhere from 8 to 10 comics on it. So you're getting a good variety of the show.
One of the things that was amazing to me last year, there were a couple of comedians that they were performing together for one of the events, and I thought they'd known each other forever, and it turns out they had just met that weekend, and you would have never known that from watching. You would have thought they had rehearsed this and done this 1,000 times before. But I just sat there and I was absolutely amazed at how flawless and seamless it was, even though they literally didn't know each other like 4 days before that.
Yeah, yep. And they decided to get together and do some planning for the show that they were doing together, and it turned out really good. And that's the thing that's really cool about festivals. You know, it's an opportunity for comics to come together and network with other comics, and you know, they make connections. So when they're traveling and, you know, trying to get shows wherever, you know, when you meet another comic from another area, it's a good connection. You know, another cool thing that we're doing this year is we have a talent, you know, a casting producer that's worked with America's Got Talent that's coming out. And they're going to be doing a panel on casting, and then also doing some scouting and stuff too.
That's really cool. Now, if people would like to get tickets, Dan, how do I get tickets to Snow Jam Comedy Festival?
You go to the website and just click on the tickets tab, and you've got a whole variety of shows you can do. We've got over 7 shows that we're doing, plus we're doing a lunchtime open mic on Saturday. Like I said, it's going to be a great event. We have almost 2 events every day. I think Friday we have 3 events. Saturday we have 3 events. So most of the show times are 7 and 9:30. I think on Friday it's 7, 9:30, 11:30, and then Saturday we're doing 6 and 8:30.
And this is one of those things where it's tough to make it to everything, but just block that entire weekend off right now so you can go from place to place and get it all in. Again, the website, snowjamcomedyfest.com. If you'd like to go, all of the ticket information, all of the information there. Dan, thank you again for taking the time to chat, but also thank you for putting this event together.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'll just say one thing. If you want to try to get to all the events, the best thing you can do is buy a 3-day all-exclusive pass. It's $50, and it gets you into all the shows. And
that is definitely the way to go, and you can get that ticket right now at snowjamcomedyfest.com.
Student loan debt is now the second highest consumer debt category, behind only mortgage debt. It's higher than both credit cards and auto loans. Believe it or not, the average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to almost $40,000 in student loans. 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you only have one student loan, we may offer a better rate to help you get that paid off sooner. Singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities are fabulous. You know, I guess this story's been out for a while. I'm just going to cover it here. And keep in mind, man, I don't take sides on this stuff, but it just struck me. First of all, we are Christians.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're terrible at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know that I'm terrible at being a Christian. Sometimes I'm just terrible at being a person, But
you know, it was written time and time again that if you are a follower of Jesus Christ, you're probably going to get your butt kicked on occasion. You're going to be mocked. You're going to and then that's all there is to it, man. It's like, it's a cross to bear. So there's this Brazilian comedy troupe that produced kind of a bio on Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Except he's a closet homosexual.
Yes, I saw this.
Well, someone
I just avoided it.
Yeah, someone just kind of firebombed their offices in Brazil.
Oh, wow.
So apparently some people really took some exception with this.
Well, and the sad thing is that's not the right answer.
Well, I took exception to it too, but
you wouldn't do that.
No.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Well, yeah, there's
couldn't happen to a nicer
organization.
From the sounds of it.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been around creatives all my life. I mean, I've been in rock and roll bands. I've produced radio shows. One of the greatest movies ever, a 3-time award winner, Deary, Off the Wall.
Oh yes,
available on
4-time award winner.
What did I miss? Did I miss a meeting?
No, yeah, there was.
I really thought it was 3.
One in Canada, one in New York, 2 in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 in LA.
Oh yeah. It's won multiple awards.
Yeah.
Dan.
See, now you're sitting a little straighter. You're a little prouder.
Did you see me? Did you see me?
Firefighter Uncle Wally.
Firefighter Uncle Wally.
That's right.
That was me.
That was you. You nailed it.
I even had like a fire guy hat.
I was a police officer. We just watched that. We did A Very Deary Christmas, and I was 50 pounds heavier when we did that movie.
Yeah.
But here's the skinny. What I'm getting at is I've sat in a lot of meetings over the years, hey, how about this? How about this? And I can't imagine sitting in these initial meetings.
The pitch for that?
With this comedy troupe going, hey, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And then to actually find the bank to get it produced. I mean, it's a professionally done film. It cost money to do this.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I saw reviews online. People said it was terrible. Even if you thought it was a good concept, it was still terrible. But the majority of the comments on there were things like, okay, it's easy to make fun of Christians when they're not going to do anything about it. Now, when are you doing the one about Muslims? Because you'll notice they won't make fun. If they did the same movie, doing that same content, but instead of Jesus, it was Muhammad, they're like, you'd be beheaded.
Yes, they would.
So I'm sad to hear that their office was firebombed. I really am sad to hear
they
that.
checked some Molotov cocktails at it. Yeah. It's like, nobody was killed or anything like that. But
that's kind of what they wanted, though, I think. And sadly, now they got the exact attention that they wanted, and they're going to be able to say
films like that, who knows who else they've
I don't know.
irked. It doesn't necessarily mean it was a Christian that did
Very
it.
true. Very true. Well, Dan, thank you for that. What a way to end the year.
Wow, yeah.
Again, I was just bringing it up because I thought it was fascinating. Again, I try to get inside somebody else's head. It's like, okay, this is a good idea. How?
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, the answer is probably wasn't. We actually watched a terrible movie on Hulu, and it wasn't because it was offensive. It was just horrendous. We watched.
Terrible.
If you're looking for, what I meant to say was the best Christmas movie ever.
Well,
Christmas with the Andersons.
No, if they're still running it or not. It actually debuted on Netflix on December 3rd.
Yeah.
And since that
I've avoided it.
time, apparently a petition with 2.3 million signatures got thrown and going, hey, man, you want to not do this? So I don't know. It's weird because you got the First Amendment at play too.
Yeah.
And you got just.
I think people have the right to let everyone know just how dumb they are. If they want to do that, go for it. You have the right to let people know that. Well, Dan, thank you. We will see you next year, my friend.
That's crazy talk, John.
It's also,
next year.
It's also tomorrow.
Crazy.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris right here on Sunny 93.3.